Hi everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel Unacademy IELTS, and I am your favorite educator Gurpreet Singh, and welcome you all in a yet another interesting session on IELTS Writing Task 1 and Process Diagram. So just let me know if you all are able to hear me and see me very clearly. Good evening everybody, good evening, a very good evening guys, a very good evening to each one of you. Just let me know if you are able to hear me and see me very clearly. All the people out there, good evening Noor, how are you? Good evening everybody, good evening G, good evening everyone. Good evening everybody. Alright, so just let me know if you are able to hear me. Cool. So we'll be discussing how to write an IELTS process diagram in this session. Alright, so before we start, I want you to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel quickly. Alright, okay. So good evening all of you, those who are watching me live on YouTube. So here's yet another important session, and I hope you all know me pretty well. Good evening everyone. Good evening Rohit, how are you? Good evening everyone. So in this session, I will be teaching you how to write an IELTS process diagram, which is a very important component of your writing task 1, isn't it? Agree? Alright. So let's start with our process diagrams. Now, before we start with the writing an IELTS process diagram, so what do you see from this process? What exactly is it about? So can you make any assumption out of it? What can it be all about? So the title says it's a geothermal power plant, right? So geo relates to the earth and thermal relates to heat. That means it shows you the process of generation of heat from the earth, maybe electricity. Okay. Now what is an IELTS process diagram? What is an IELTS process diagram? So basically, what is a process? A process is a series of steps which are in a particular order. Am I right? So there's a beginning and there's an end, but only for a linear process. If it is a cyclical process, do we have a beginning? Do we have an ending for that? Let's say I give you the life cycle of a frog or the life cycle of a butterfly. So will it have an ending and a beginning? So can cyclic processes have a beginning and an ending? No, we are sometimes entrapped in finding the beginning and ending in a cyclical process. Now in this case, it's a linear process. We know the process starts with what and we know the process ends with what. Okay, so why do we call it a process? Because it is a series of stages which are in the time order. So we start at the beginning and we have to describe each stage till we reach the last one. Alright, so basically when you talk about IELTS process diagrams, there are two types. One is man-made process. Alright, let's say I ask you, okay, I'll give you a process of how plastic bottles are recycled. So is it a natural process or it's a man-made one? So I ask you, I give you the title of the process. The process is how plastic bottles are recycled. Now, will that be a man-made process or a natural process? So I simply want you to tell me, will that be a natural process or is that going to be a man-made process? Obviously, that's going to be a man-made process. Alright, so man-made processes tell you how things are made, how things are produced or manufactured, or how things are done. Now, why am I telling you this? Because the type of the process will determine the grammar that you are supposed to use. Okay, now I'll tell you how in the later slides. So it's very important to analyze the process first. Secondly, natural processes. Natural processes. So it's the most difficult to learn because there's no clear and exact language. Am I right? Let's say if I ask you the process of photosynthesis. How plants make food. Now, is that a natural process or a man-made one? The process of photosynthesis. How plants prepare their own food. Let's say your process is photosynthesis, how plants prepare their own food. Now, is that a natural process or a man-made one? Think about it. Think about it. It's a natural process. It's a natural process. Now, my next question to you is, when we have a natural process, क्या हमारे पास agent होता है? Do we have any agent who does the action? Yes, we have an agent who does the action. No. So whenever we talk about natural processes, do we have any agent who does the action or it happens automatically? There's no agent involved, am I right? So when you talk about natural processes, there is no agent involved. Man-made processes may be have agents involved. Okay, but sir, उसका difference क्या होगा? How will that be different? वो हम देखेंगे आगे. ठीक है? तो that's the difference. That's the difference. Natural process कभी भी आपकी passive में नहीं हो सकती. Am I right? So reason यही है. Natural processes cannot be in passive because there is no agent involved. There is no agent involved. Am I right? Man-made processes passive में हो सकती हैं, right? That's the reason. Passive में कोई चीज कब होती है? When we have the agent who does the action. फिर passive में हम देखते हैं कि क्या हम action पे focus करने वाले हैं या हम agent पे focus करने वाले हैं. So we'll see that in a moment. Okay? All right, G. Okay. Now the next question that comes to our mind is कि इन दोनों में difference क्या होता है फिर? The difference is man-made process की जो grammar होती है that is very simple. आपको सिर्फ present simple passive में लिखना होता है. Let's see. थोड़ा डिटेल में करेंगे passive voice. Okay? Are we ready on this? All right. Now, whenever you have to describe any IELTS process which involves humans या which involves any agent, मतलब एक man-made process को जब आपको describe करना होगा, तो basically हम किस पे focus करेंगे? Now I'll give you two choices. क्या आप action पे focus करेंगे या आप agent पे focus करेंगे? Now you have two choices. When you want to write an IELTS process in the passive voice, क्या आपके लिए agent important होगा या action important होगा? What would you say? What would be more important to you? Will action be more important or will the agent be more important to us? Correct. Now action is more important. Now I have also written here, whenever you describe any IELTS process, our focus is on the activities, not on the person doing them. Now I'll give you an example also in the later slide. So जब ये case होता है, we use the passive voice, not the active. I hope now it's clear. I told you that in the last slide also कि agent का होना ना होना determines कि हमें passive voice use करनी है या नहीं करनी है. Okay? For a natural process जैसे life cycle of a frog, we use active. क्यों? Because वहाँ पे there's nobody who's doing the action. It happens naturally. If you are clear with this, just tell me clear. I don't want any confusion in this one. Just let me know if we are clear with this one. So that's why passive voice needs to be understood very clearly. Okay, all right. So now we'll move on to the next one. Now, why do we need to use the passive? Why can't we just do without it? Now the reason is, when you add passive voice, it adds a more formal tone to your writing. How? We'll see. We'll see. And secondly, as I told you, it's not even important to tell who is responsible for the action, who is doing the action, or what is causing the action. We are focusing only on the action and not on the agent doing it. Exactly. Now I'll give you two sentences. First says, a worker collects the materials from the recycling bins. Okay. Now the passive voice would be, the materials dash dash from the recycling bins. Now how do you frame a sentence in passive? आपको क्या चाहिए होता है? Subject plus to be form of the verb, मतलब is, am, are, plus the third form of the verb, and then the, that's how you go about it. So what would you say here? The materials is or the materials are? What would you say? So what would we say? The materials are. And what would be the third form of this verb, collect? The third form, quickly. The materials are collected from the recycling bins. Correct? अब my question is, अभी हमने बोला the materials are collected from the recycling bins. तो क्या हमने इस sentence में agent mention किया था? Did we mention any agent? Did we say by? जब हमने इसी sentence को passive में बनाया, क्या हमने agent की बात की थी? Did we say by a worker? The materials are collected from the recycling bins. Did we say by a worker? नहीं बोला. Why? Because हमने सर अभी तो बोला था कि जब passive voice यूज करते हैं तो agent important नहीं होते. Right? Everybody, are we clear on this front? Okay. Now let's move on. Now I'll give you again some examples. Okay? So let's say the coffee beans are laid out in a field to dry. The coffee beans are laid out in a field by workers to dry. Okay. Now which sentence is clearer? And which sentence has obvious or unnecessary information? So you have to answer these two questions of mine. You have to answer these two questions of mine. Which sentence is clearer? And which sentence has very obvious or unnecessary information? Good evening, Jashan. Now, which sentence is clearer and which sentence has obvious or unnecessary information? Can you answer them? What would be your answer be? First is clearer and second is unnecessary. Okay. Very good, very good. Now you are grabbing the concepts. And do hit the like button, everybody. Yes. First is clearer and second one has obvious or unnecessary information. Now you got to know the difference? Correct. Now here's another example from the same topic. Let's say workers pick the coffee beans. That's in active voice. क्योंकि हमारा focus workers पे है. but question is all about coffee beans, so we are not supposed to use the active voice, right? The raw coffee beans are picked by hand. Okay, so that is in passive. So by hand, तो दिस इज एक्स्ट्रा इंफॉर्मेशन जो हम ऐड कर रहे हैं अपनी राइटिंग में. वी आर नॉट मेंशनिंग द एजेंट, वी आर जस्ट एडिंग एडिशनल इंफॉर्मेशन कि रॉ कॉफी बीन्स कैसे पिक होती हैं, बाय हैंड. नाउ द रॉ कॉफी बीन्स आर हैंड पिक्ड. अब यहाँ पे आई हैव यूज्ड अ कंपाउंड वर्ड. दिस इज हाई लेवल लैंग्वेज जिससे यू कैन ऐड टू योर राइटिंग. द रॉ कॉफी बीन्स आर हैंड पिक्ड बाय वर्कर्स. नाउ अभी यहाँ पे हमने एजेंट मेंशन कर दिया, बट क्या ये जरूरी था करना? इज द फोर्थ सेंटेंस राइट अकॉर्डिंग टू यू? देखो फर्स्ट तो गलत है क्योंकि वो एक्टिव में है, सेकंड इज राइट एंड थर्ड इज आल्सो राइट. व्हाट अबाउट द फोर्थ वन? इट सेज उसने पैसिव यूज कर दिया, बट ही सेज द रॉ कॉफी बीन्स आर हैंड पिक्ड, और एंड में उसने बोल दिया बाय वर्कर्स. तो डू यू थिंक इट शुड हैव बीन देयर? होना चाहिए था. should it have been there? No, it's unnecessary, है ना? तो according to you ये दोनों sentences ही are best for writing, the second one and the third one. Agree? So the second one and the third one would report and display your higher level of language. Yes? Okay. Now, let's come to the grammar aspect now. Good evening, Satinder. So when you are describing a process, only use the simple present passive. Now, what do I mean by that? Simple present passive matlab is or are plus the third form of the verb. That's how we frame a simple passive sentence, right? So the only thing you have to worry about is कि singular आएगा या plural आएगा. The only thing that you have to be worry about is आएगा या are आएगा. ठीक है? Okay. Let's say the first one. The skins dash dried. Now tell me, is or are? Is or are? So जब आप passive voice use करते हैं, the only thing you have to be careful is using the singular or plural verbs. The skins dash dried. The skins dash dried. Hi Deepak. The skins dash dried is or are? Think about it. Subject verb agreement. Plural subject, plural verb. Hanji, what would you say? Correct. The skins are dried. What about the second one? The skin dash dried. Correct. The skin is dried. Now you see, so जब आप passive voice use करते हैं, you have to be careful कि singular verb आएगा या plural verb आएगा. Let's talk about the third one. The skins dash polished. The skins are polished, right? The skins are polished. The leather is polished. Agree? Are we clear on this front? Cool? Chalo. Let's move on. Now, how do we form the passive? That's the question now. Now, जब तक आप past tense से familiar हो, passive आपके लिए difficult नहीं होगा. I'll give you some examples. एक एक्टिव सेंटेंस को पैसिव में हम कैसे बनाते हैं? हम सिंपली टू बी वर्ब ऐड करते हैं और उसका थर्ड फॉर्म ऐड करते हैं वर्ब का. थर्ड फॉर्म को हम पास्ट पार्टिसिपल भी बोलते हैं. ओके, सो जैसे वर्कर्स पिक कॉफी बीन्स. सो वर्कर्स क्या है आपका? सब्जेक्ट. पिक क्या है? इट्स द वर्ब. कॉफी बीन्स इज द ऑब्जेक्ट, राइट? तो अब मुझे अगर इसको पैसिव में बनाना होगा, आई विल से पैसिव वॉइस कैसे बनती है? ऑब्जेक्ट सब्जेक्ट बन जाता है, सब्जेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट बन जाता है, राइट? सो कॉफी बीन्स आर पिक्ड. एग्री? सो देखो कॉफी बीन्स ने ओरिजिनल सब्जेक्ट को कैसे रिप्लेस किया. वेरी गुड अजय. So यहाँ तक clear है everybody? Hit the like button quickly. Okay. Now, so अभी मैंने आपको स्टार्टिंग में भी बताया था, अभी आई एम जस्ट रीआइटरेटिंग कि ओरिजिनल सब्जेक्ट हमारा अक्सर जरूरी नहीं होता. हाँ, बट अगर आप उसको इंक्लूड करना चाहते हो तो आप उसको बाय या विद के साथ दे सकते हो. जैसे बाय वर्कर्स, कॉफी बीन्स आर पिक्ड बाय वर्कर्स. ठीक है. तो इफ यू वांट टू इंक्लूड द एजेंट इन आईएलटीएस, वहां पे हमारे पास दो प्रेपोजिशंस होती हैं जिससे हम एजेंट को इंट्रोड्यूस कर सकते हैं. दैट इज बाय एंड विद. बट इन दोनों में डिफरेंस होता है. इन दोनों में डिफरेंस होता है. बाय यूज करते हैं हम पर्सन को इंट्रोड्यूस करने के लिए. जैसे द मशीनरी इज ऑपरेटेड बाय वर्कर्स. विद हम किसके साथ यूज करते हैं? ऑब्जेक्ट्स के साथ. ठीक है. विद हम यूज करते हैं ऑब्जेक्ट्स के साथ. जैसे द डोर वॉज ओपन्ड विद द की. द डोर वॉज ओपन्ड विद द की. The bookcase has been replaced by a table. Now they are actually interchangeable. ठीक है. The beans are sorted and graded with the machine. Right? I hope the difference is clear now. How do we use by and with to reintroduce our agent? Cool. Okay. Now I want you to tell me the third forms of these verbs, or actually the past participles. So can you tell me? I'll do the first one for you. Grow, grew, grown. So can you tell me for the other ones? The third form. What about so? What about so? So, sew, sewn, right? So, sew, sewn. What about sell? What about sell? Sell, correct. Sell, sold, sold. What about take? What about take? Take, took, taken. Take, took, taken. What about wrap? Wrap. Wrap, wrapped, wrapped. Right? Okay. What about hold? Quickly. Hold, held, held. Right. Next is grind. Sow का मतलब होता है बीजना. You sow crops. Grinded या ground कुछ भी हो सकता है. So it has two. Grinded भी हो सकता है और ground भी हो सकता है. What about put? Put is put only. Cut is cut only. What about weave? Weave, wove, woven. Done. So these are common irregular past participles. Okay. All right. Now I want you to complete these sentences now using the simple present passive. Okay. So shall we try? This is the last exercise that I'm going to give you. So आपको कैसे frame करना है? Is या are, that means to be form of the verb, and the third form. So you have to give me two words. Oranges dash to colder countries in Europe. Oranges dash to colder countries in Europe. Hit the like button everybody and subscribe. Oranges, I'll do the first one for you. Oranges are exported. Correct. Now try for the second one. Try for the second one. Coffee beans dashed in a machine in order to make coffee powder. Coffee beans are grinded या are ground. या grounded नहीं आएगा, ground या grinded. ठीक है अजय? Okay. Rice dashed into bags and then delivered to supermarkets. Rice is put into bags and then delivered to supermarkets. Done? Okay. Coconuts dashed from the trees and then exported to other countries. Coconuts, yeah, coconuts are cut from the trees and then exported to other countries. Done? Okay, the last one. The bars of chocolate dashed in silver paper and put into boxes. The bars of chocolate are wrapped in silver paper and put into boxes. Done, everybody? Correct. Absolutely. Absolutely. So can you see this process? Now let's talk about an IELTS writing task 1 question. Okay. So this is the process. Let's see what does the question say. The question says you have to spend about 20 minutes on this task, and it's a process of recycling plastic bottles. Okay. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Okay. Write at least 150 words. Okay. Now I just want to give you a quick exercise before we wind up. Okay. The same thing you have to do it here. Is or are plus the third form of the verb. Now can you quickly give it a shot? So I'll do the first one for you. The bottle is discarded. You try with the second one. How to show variety? There are lots of structures दीपक, जैसे present perfect से भी आप यूज करते हैं, ये मैं आपको डिटेल में करवाऊंगा प्लस कोर्स में. बहुत सारे स्ट्रक्चर्स हैं मेरे पास फॉर पैसिव. Either I will share them with you या मैं आपको प्लस कोर्स में करवाऊंगा. I'll do it in the plus course. Present perfect passive से होता है, linking with ing होता है. There are lots of structures. क्योंकि हमारे पास यहाँ पे टाइम नहीं है, so I will not be taking it up. The bottles are picked up. Correct. What about the third one? What about the third one? They dash to the recycling plant. Correct. They are taken to the recycling plant. The bottles dash, the bottles the bottles are washed. Correct. Absolutely. Next one. They dash to another machine. They dash to another machine. They are sent to another machine. Done. They dash into smaller pieces. They are shredded into smaller pieces. Correct. The pieces dash into pellets. So the pieces the pieces are turned into pellets. Very good. The pallets dash to make new items. The pallets are used to make new items. Correct? Okay. Oh, that is it. And one more thing, guys. One more thing. We have a very fantastic surprise coming up for you. That's going to be, revolutionizing the IELTS market. So for that, you have to stay tuned with us, and we will let you know what exactly is it. Till then, you have to keep guessing. And for the free live special classes, we have special classes on the Unacademy platform, which are absolutely free of cost, and the timings of which are already shown to you on your screen. So today we have got a free class on matching headings. Alright, so the timings are 8 p.m. So this is the schedule for all my free classes on Unacademy. So if you want to practice with us, do join us for the free live classes and the courses. For that, you will just need a code to unlock the free classes, that is Gurpreet10. Okay, and also we have a lot of these free classes, like I have one tomorrow on maps for writing, and on the strategies for IELTS listening, but they would be taken only on the Unacademy platform. Okay, and also we have test series for you, the reading mock test series, which you can attempt and get an idea of your preparation. And currently we are running a plus course on IELTS listening, the timings of which are 9 p.m. So basically we have structured courses, the paid courses, wherein you get attention, personalized attention, test analysis, feedback on your writing and speaking, dedicated doubt clearing sessions are also there, one-on-one, and on the Iconic you get a personal coach who will help you with your preparation journey. So trust me, Unacademy offers you very affordable IELTS training, and at prices starting from 2,673. So use the code Gurpreet10 to get discount. And second thing, once you use the code, you are a part of my Premium Plus group, which is very beneficial if you want to stay updated and stay connected with me. Use the code Gurpreet10 on your subscription, and you can also choose to be a part of our Telegram channel, which is Unacademy IELTS, for any kind of exclusive updates, notifications, exercises, and premium exclusive content. Till then, take care everybody. Thank you so much for staying tuned. So don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and press the bell icon so that you are notified whenever we have a live class with you. Till then, take care. This is Gurpreet Singh signing off, and we'll see you tomorrow.